guys, it's Miles here from Maritime Sword School Moncton, MSS Moncton, and I'm following up with you for part 2 on our introduction to fitness concepts and HEMA. Okay, this series is designed to give you some baseline knowledge so that when you're out there training, you're never wasting any effort. I think it's really, really important to have this baseline knowledge. And to start things off, I want to tell you a little bit about my personal fitness journey. But before that, I do have to say one thing. This is not about losing weight, and diet isn't a dirty word. All diet means is what you're putting in your body. I'm not talking necessarily about losing weight here. I'm just trying to introduce you to concepts that'll help you achieve your goals, specifically the goal of building lean muscle mass, okay? So, to my personal fitness journey. I'm 37 years old. I have rheumatoid arthritis. Rheumatoid arthritis is an autoimmune disease that basically attacks the soft tissue around your joints, okay? It's different from osteoarthritis, which is the wearing down of the cartilage. I don't want to be in the arthritis, in competition in the arthritis Olympics here, but mine's a little bit worse. Okay? So I kind of have my own sort of things going on that I have to be careful about, right? Because I find that people will often, look at me, and I'm 6 feet tall, I'm 210 pounds, and they'll just be like, oh, it's genetics or whatever. It's not genetics. I've been working on this for 14 years. Okay? So when I grew up, I was really thin, I was probably weak. I played sports and stuff, but I never really had anyone in my life that really understood fitness and was able to really guide me and help me be stronger. That changed when I was 23. When I was 23, my brother-in-law George kind of took me under his wing. He had a copy of Arnold Schwarzenegger's bodybuilding encyclopedia. Awesome resource, recommend it to anyone. Unbelievably great material inside of it. And he coached me, and he got me, barbells, dumbbells, a bench, lots of weights, okay? And he really coached me so that I was able to kind of, take control of my physicality. And that's kind of what I want you guys to do, is take control of your physicality. All right? I was thin, but with George's help, I went up to 235 pounds through powerlifting, okay? I was a strong guy, but then something happened. I got into a car accident, and I really messed up my lower back. And for a long time, I couldn't push heavy weights anymore. I just couldn't. So I had to change how I trained, and I went down in weight. I went down to about 160, which is, 95 pounds. That's no small task. I was certainly weaker, and it made me a little bit sad. But it was just my reality. I couldn't push heavy weights and sustain that big, masculine body type anymore. So that's who I am now. I'm at 210 pounds. Intentionally, that's where I like to be. I fluctuate a little bit between 200 and 210 depending on what time of the year it is, and if I'm having a little bit too much fun or whatever. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to kind of walk you through the process of how your diet affects your building of lean muscle mass. And that's really what this is all about. The magic words are lean muscle mass, okay? And it's actually really hard to get, and I'm going to help you understand how to do it, okay? Last week we talked about movements. We really focused in on the high intensity interval training, on anaerobic exercise, on some different concepts and how we're going to build our workouts. In this video, this is the second part that's going to tell you what you need to put into your body. And I mean need. You need to put certain things into your body in order to cultivate lean muscle mass, because frankly, if you're not doing it, all of your workouts are going to be wasted effort, and I really don't want you to waste 1 second of effort, okay? It's so hard to get out there and get up and get exercising and do all this stuff, right? And I want to make sure that you're setting yourself up for success, because it'll make me sad if you're sweating so hard and nothing happens, or if you're sweating so hard and you're actually getting weaker and injuring yourself. That would really suck. So, without further ado, let us begin, friends. So, right off the hop, I want you to understand something. There is no ideal body type, okay? I'm going to say it again. There is no ideal body type, all right? I really want you to forget about a lot of kind of what's being drilled into your head, ingrained in you, about having to look a certain way or be a certain way to be athletic. Because it's not true, man. It's not true at all. Think about bodybuilders, okay? Think about bodybuilders at competition. These guys look intimidating. You know what I mean? I'm going to tell you a little secret. When a bodybuilder is at competition, he is the weakest and most unhealthy that he could possibly be. He's massively dehydrated. He's starving himself. He's going through a major, major, major cut to make all those muscles pop. You know what I mean? I personally don't really like that, okay? But hey, it's okay if you like it. That's 100% fine. I think there's absolutely nothing wrong with having a little bit extra. You've got 12%, 15%, 20%, 30% body fat. Whatever, man. Because there's lots of examples of great athletes out there who have that higher percentage of body fat and are still able to perform 100% fine. I'm going to throw some examples at you, okay? Roy Nelson in the UFC, okay? He's kind of a funny character, but I'll tell you what, man, that dude can fight. He's a serious martial artist, serious contender. You watch him on the mat, Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. He's got that big knockout power. He can go the distance, you know what I mean? Like half his fights go to decision, you know what I mean? And he can get along just fine. When we look at Butterbean, legendary boxer, man, short guy, big, wide, I don't know, 40% body fat, you know what I mean? He knocks dudes out. Big guys, big athletic looking guys, knocks them out cold. You know what I mean? Beyond that, here in HEMA, you know what I mean? I know I'm not going to say any names because I wouldn't want to single someone else out, you know what I mean? But we have fantastically talented HEMAs in our community who don't have that stereotypical athletic, I put in air quotes, body type. Like, guys, it's not important, okay? And I don't want you to think that you need to look a certain way to be athletic. Because here's the thing, underneath that little bit of extra body fat, you can still have a serious amount of lean muscle mass, okay? And that's what we're talking about. So, gaining lean muscle mass, all right? I'm going to throw a couple numbers at you, all right? And it might be a little bit surprising for you, okay? How fast can you put on muscle? Think about that for a minute. Can you put on 4 pounds of muscle a month? Can you put on 10 pounds of muscle a month? Well, I have some really bad news for everybody, okay? A man who is in his prime, in his 20s, who's at his optimal capacity for gaining lean muscle mass, can only put on 1 to 2 pounds of lean muscle mass a month, okay? That doesn't sound like a very big number, right? As you get older, that number goes down, okay? Hey, it's just the way it is, dudes. Don't worry about it. We all have to deal with this, okay? For women, it's actually in their prime. It's closer to 1 pound of lean muscle mass a month that they're able to put on every single month. So what I want you to understand is that becoming stronger, becoming more athletic, gaining that lean muscle mass is a marathon, okay? So I really don't want you to spend 2 seconds thinking about huge lifestyle changes or fad diets or, these crazy programs where you're going to be spending $400 a month on groceries. I honestly think that's ridiculous. I do, okay? That's full disclosure. Others can disagree, and that's really cool, and I absolutely support everyone, in their fitness journey and doing it how they choose to do it. But this is the reality, this is the biology of the situation, is that a man in his prime can maxes out at 2 pounds of lean muscle mass a month. A woman in her prime maxes out at 1 pound of lean muscle mass a month. So what this should tell you right away is that this is about sustainable changes, okay? And it's about sustainable lifestyle changes. If you do a crash diet, of some sort, you're never going to stick to it. Like, not in a million years, you know what I mean? And you're just going to gain, if you're trying to lose weight, which I actually don't think you should be trying to lose weight. I'll talk a little bit more about that later, okay? But I don't think that should be your main focus, all right? I really think that your main focus should be gaining lean muscle mass, and it's something that's literally going to take you years to get where you need to be, and the only way that it's going to work out is if you create routines and habits for yourself with a couple really, really simple ideas, all right? Before we work through those, okay, I'm just going to let you in on another little secret. It's easier to burn fat than it is to gain lean muscle mass. Okay, it is 100%. So, when we're talking about, sorry, my script. when we're talking about losing fat, okay, losing fat is much easier than gaining lean muscle mass. To losing fat, you know, you can maybe lose up to 4 pounds of fat a month healthily. Okay, and basically what that would mean would be a 3,500 calorie deficit every single week. All right, so it would be cutting your diet by about 500 calories every day. Okay, for the average man, it's going to be 2,500 to 2,000 or 2,500 calories a month is going to be your average amount of calorie intake that you can take in with your weight not fluctuating. For a woman, it's 2,000. If you want to lose weight, for a man, you go down to 2,000. For a woman, you go down to 1,500. Okay? And that's if you want to lose weight. But here's the thing. I don't want you to do that. Okay? I really, really don't want you to do that. And, well, this is why. Your body needs calories, okay? You need calories. You need nutrition, okay? If you are not taking in enough calories, your workouts are going to suck because you have no energy, okay? If your workouts suck because you have no energy, you are not going to be able to break down the muscle and force it into that repair state, okay? That's how we gain lean muscle mass. We break down the muscle, we injure it, micro tears, and we force it to enter a repair state, and it comes back bigger and stronger than ever. If you are weak because you've been starving yourself, you will not be able to do that. So this is what I'm talking about. You know, when I say that I don't want you at a calorie deficit if we're aiming to gain lean muscle mass, okay? Now that doesn't mean that I want you like way up here, you know, with how many calories you're eating. You know, if you're Eddie Hall, then maybe you need 10,000 calories a day. You know what I mean? But, you know, if you're the Mountain, maybe you need 10,000 calories a day. But, like, you know, these are guys that are 400 pounds. Okay, you know, you don't need that. You know, maybe you need 2,500, maybe you need 3,000. It kind of depends on how hard you're working out. There's lots of charts online that can kind of coach you through that. You know, just you know, Google is going to be your friend with that. I'm not going to try to run through a chart with all you guys on this video, okay? So we talked a lot about, you know, different types of exercise in our last video, right? And there's a really specific reason why we're designing our workups around the high intensity interval training method, okay? And the reason for that is because not only do you get that great, you know, anaerobic exercise out of it, that's really going to help you gain lean muscle mass, but it also engages the afterburn effect, okay? And that's going to be burning fat. So this is what I want you to do, okay? I don't want you to go on the scale, okay? I don't want you to go on the scale. It's not important, all right? Because here's the thing, because if you're doing things correctly, you're going to be gaining lean muscle mass simultaneously while you're burning fat with that afterburn effect. So your body shouldn't actually be fluctuating in weight that much, okay? You know, maybe losing a little bit, right? If you know you're outpacing your gains a little bit, and that's cool. That's totally fine, right? But if you absolutely have to have a metric, inches lost off of your waist. If you absolutely have to have a metric, that's what I want you to look at, all right? But I really don't want you to be wasting a lot of time on, I really don't want you to be wasting a lot of time on the scale, worrying about the scale, because here's the thing, like, the scale is going to be affected by whether or not you had a poop that day, okay? I'm serious. It's going to be affected by how much water you drank that day. Drink lots of water, okay? Please drink lots of water. But anyways, we're kind of through that sort of introductory part now, so let's start talking a little bit about your diet, okay? Protein intake, okay? This is it. This is the core concept, one of the core concepts of this video, okay? Protein intake, all right? We've talked a lot about how you need to be damaging your muscles the right way so they can repair themselves in the right way. Your body needs very specific chemical structures in order to repair your body. Proteins, okay? You need to be taking in protein. How much should you be taking in? Really simple rule. Take your body weight, multiply it by 0.7. Take your body weight, multiply it by 0.7. That number is how many grams of protein you should be taking in a day. For me, it's between 150 and 160 grams of protein a day. Okay, so let's put that in perspective. All right, you know, an egg, maybe 8 to 10 grams of protein. Okay, a glass of milk, 8 grams of protein. A half-pound pork chop, 54 grams of protein. Every single thing that you eat, you're going to be able to go through, and you're going to be able to see how many grams of protein are in it just by Googling it quickly, okay? And I want you to do that, and this is your main dietary goal, is to get that magic number. For me, it's between 150 and 160. For my body to be optimally repairing damaged muscles, I need to be taking in that much protein a day. My body weight multiplied by 0.7, all right? That's your protein intake. So, you might be thinking to yourself, I just did the math and it sounds like I have to be taking in a lot of protein, and you know what? Yeah, you're right, you probably do need to be taking in a lot of protein, way more than you've ever probably taken in your life, okay? So I'm going to talk now about the number one way that you can, the number one supplement that you can use to do that, and it's whey protein powder, okay? Whey protein powder, you know, you might think protein powder and you think, shut up, you HEMA bro, you stupid HEMA bro, why don't you cram it? Okay, no, you cram it. Okay, listen. Here's the deal. All right. Protein powder is natural, okay? It's 100% natural. So whey protein powder, do you know what whey is? When you open yogurt and there's that like clear liquid on top, that's what whey is, and it's super high in protein. It's a byproduct from making all kinds of dairy products, okay? And whey protein powder is just that in powder form, and you stir it into a drink, and then that drink gives you, you know, between 20 and 30 grams of protein, depending on which brand you buy. So there's 3 different kinds, okay? There's concentrate, isolate, and hydroisolate, okay? Concentrate is higher in calories and fat, all right? If you are thin, this is the one I want you to use, okay? Because if you are thin, you cannot get enough stuff, okay? You can't get enough stuff if you're thin and you're trying to gain weight, okay? I mean it. I personally prefer isolate. Isolate is the most studied form, and it has significantly less carbohydrate and fat inside of it, and it has a higher protein concentration. And then there's hydroisolate. I do not recommend hydroisolate. Hydroisolate has the highest amount of protein in it, but it could mess with your insulin, okay? So I really don't recommend that you go with the hydro isolate. I really recommend that you go with the isolate. And a good rule of thumb is to do 2 scoops a day. 2 scoops a day is good. When you go up to 3 scoops a day, 4 scoops a day, whatever, you know what I mean? Hey, the tummy might not feel the best, okay? You might be a little flatulent, all right? if you go up to 3+ scoops of whey a day, you know what I mean? You're gonna smell bad, all right? And you're probably gonna have a tummy ache, so don't do that. 2 is the sweet spot, all right? So you should be getting about 50 grams of your protein every single day from your whey, all right? From your isolate whey. Beyond that, the rest of it should all be coming from natural food sources, right? So let's talk about what your plate should look like. Okay, so what should your plate look like? Well, bam! Like this, okay? This should be like your lunchtime, your dinner plate, okay? Your breakfast plate's probably going to be a little bit different. You know, you can actually go really high protein, really easy on your breakfast. But vegetables, proteins, carbohydrates, okay? Use this as a general guide, okay? You know, there's so many different diet guides out there. If you want to go look them up and go on these and go on a specific diet plan, you can. For me, I personally think it's more about understanding the concepts and making your own choices based and trying to fit what you normally eat and figure out what you have to cut out and what you can eat more of. You know what I mean, to accomplish your goals. And this is a great general guideline for you, okay? Next, we're going to talk about what not to eat. So, what not to eat. This is really important, okay? There's some stuff that you should really just start to avoid, okay? And basically, it's things with no nutritional value, okay? You know, I'm never going to tell you that, you know, you can't eat a potato, okay? That you can't eat a bowl of rice, that you can't eat a piece of bread with your sandwich, okay? Because you're going to do that, and if you don't do that, you're going to be miserable. And beyond that, carbohydrates are energy. Eat some carbohydrates. Don't go crazy with them. This is what I want you to avoid eating. French fries. Stop eating French fries. Cheeseburgers are fine. You know what I mean? They can get away from you because they're fatty, you know what I mean? But at least they have nutritional value. You know, and they, hey, maybe they might have 30 grams of protein too. That's pretty good. But French fries, man, French fries have no nutritional value whatsoever. They are terrible. All right, chips. Potato chips are poison. Stay away from potato chips. Alcohol. Like, alcohol, in myself, in my own life, I drink once a week. All right, and I don't have like casual beers with dinner anymore. You know, if I'm going out to eat with a friend, I don't just have the beer because that's what I normally do. Because for me at this point now, it's just completely empty. There is no nutritional value to that whatsoever. But once a week, if I want to, you know, have some fun with my friends, yeah, I'll drink alcohol, right? And beyond that, sugar, refined processed sugars, cut refined processed sugars out of your diet. French fries, chips, alcohol, and sugars. I'm serious, guys, with these 4 simple concepts. You know, either cutting them out or limiting your intake, you're going to see huge returns right off the bat, really, really easily. It's honestly that straightforward. But of course, you should give yourself a cheat day, okay? Lots of programs call for this, and I really, really support it, that there should be 1 day a week where, you know, you just do whatever the hell you want, you know what I mean? You've earned it. You've been working hard. If you want to go eat a Sunday, go eat a Sunday, right? The problem is when you're giving yourself those little allowances every day. That's the problem, because you know full well that you shouldn't be doing that. And, you know, that it has no nutritional value whatsoever. So you have to figure, so this is why I want you to hone in on the foods that you like, that have nutritional value, and eat more of those, right? Because I want you to eat. I actually want you to be at a calorie surplus, so you have lots of energy for your workouts, so you can gain lean muscle mass, okay? But I don't want you to be giving yourself those little allowances, because those are what's going to add up. What happens with people when they gain weight is they gain weight a ½ pound a month at a time over the course of their lives. And then, after a decade, they're like, well, why do I run out of breath walking up the stairs? You know what I mean? Well, just like it's so hard to gain lean muscle mass, and it takes years to gain lean muscle mass, it takes years to gain that extra empty weight, that extra fat, and it's through small allowances that happens. You don't gain 30 pounds all at once. You gain 30 pounds over the course of multiple years by your small allowances building up a ½ pound at a time. That's what happens. That's how it works, okay? Now, healthy eating can be expensive, okay? It just can, and I'm not even going to really say healthy eating here too much, okay? Protein is expensive. Straight up, protein is expensive. All right, and we need you to be taking in lots of protein. So I'm going to share with you my strategies, how I shop to maximize my dollar and make sure that I'm getting enough protein, okay? Where I live, in Moncton, New Brunswick, don't come to my house, okay? Where the flyers for the grocery stores come out at Wednesday. Every single week, my wife and I, we sit down and we look through the flyers and we see what's on sale at every store. And then on Thursday evening, we go out and we go to all the stores and we buy the things that are on sale. And basically, all my guys at MSS Charlottetown, MSS Moncton, MSS St. John's, okay, you're all going to be able to do this really easily, and we're really going to be speaking the same language with price, okay? So the first thing that I look for is chicken drumsticks, okay? Chicken drumsticks every week are going to be on sale somewhere for $1.99 a pound. Every chicken drumstick contains 18 grams of fat. Chicken drumsticks are your new snack food. You take the pack, you buy 6 packages when they're on sale. You cook off a package at a time in the oven. If you're hungry for a snack and you're walking past the fridge, eat that chicken drumstick. 18 grams of protein, okay? To put that in perspective, that's $1.99 a pound, okay? A Builder's protein bar, which contains 18 grams of protein, is $2 per bar. Okay, so you'll pay over $10 for a pack of 6 of them. Okay, but you can get 9 chicken drumsticks for less than $4 a lot of the time. All right, so this is really important, really important. Okay, this is how I want you to think. All right, I don't want you to be taken in by fad anything. I want you to be looking at the flyers and saying, okay, where's the protein on sale? Go stock up on that protein, cook it off in advance, okay? Meal prep, right? Cook it off in advance, set yourself up for success. Because what happens is when you get snacky, you're just going to go for the easiest thing. The easiest thing to do is open that bag of chips, right? So we have to give you something easy. We have to give you something easy to snack on, all right? So we're going to be buying cheap proteins. We're going to be preparing it in a fun way, or maybe not so fun way. And we're just going to be tossing it in the fridge. You need a snack, you eat your protein, okay? And there's lots of different ways to do that. I'll make a pulled pork with pork that's on sale. Or I'll cook it off with like some kind of seasoning. Toss it in the fridge, and then I can just toss it in the microwave, snack on it, whatever. Beef jerky is expensive, but it's fun to have as a snack, right? Hey, and if you really need that salt fix, make yourself some popcorn, okay? Don't make microwave popcorn. Learn how to make stovetop popcorn, all right? It's really going to cut out a lot of that fat that you would be getting from the process. Butter that's in microwave popcorn, okay? But really the concept that I want to get through to you here is it doesn't have to be expensive to eat a high protein diet. If you're shopping smart, all right, if you're watching the flyers and you're seeing what meat is on sale when, and you're going and stocking up on it when it's on sale, you're always going to have lots of protein on hand. Beyond that, my guys and girls and non-binary folks in Moncton, St. John's, and Charlottetown at the 3 MSS clubs, Eggs go on sale every second week at Shoppers Drug Mart for $1.88 a dozen. Eat that. Okay? Go stock up on those. Eggs are great, man. I cook off a dozen hard-boiled eggs at a time. When I walk by the fridge, I eat a hard-boiled egg. I don't even want to talk about my cholesterol, okay? but seriously, this is how I want you to start thinking, okay? I want you to start looking for low-cost protein snacks, okay? Because you're going to feel snacky, and you got to give yourself snacks to eat, all right? And that's what I want you to start looking at. So guys, there's some really straightforward diet concepts for you to understand, okay? You know, you need to be putting in the right amount of protein into your body. You need to be cutting out sugars, unnecessary alcohols, and just empty calories in general. And you need to be at a slight calorie, or I want you to be at a small calorie surplus, okay? So that you have lots of energy to do your workouts, okay? For our next video series, we're going to be starting up on, hey, Roworth, all right? I'm going to be putting pretty much my entire Roworth curriculum online for people as a resource for MSS members, as well as, you know, anyone else who might be interested. It's a really cool saber single stick broadsword program. We're going to be looking at it through the single stick lens. I love single stick as a trainer for beginners. It's fantastic. Low cost, low pain, really high return, really great system that I think is going to benefit you for years to come. Beyond that, I'm not going to do another fitness concepts video series until May. In May, I'm going to do a cutting and conditioning series where I'm going to explain those concepts to you, okay? Because I'm a huge supporter of going in cycles when you're training, okay? So that's what I do. I go through bulking cycles, I go through cutting cycles, right? And it's really what I recommend that you do. I think you get really great returns that way. I think you're able to focus in on one specific thing. Right now, we're entering a bulking cycle. I want you at that calorie surplus. In May and June, when we're getting ready for the summer, and maybe you might, you know, want to look cute for the girls at the beach or whatever, you know, or the fellas, I don't know, right? Then we'll talk about how we can just straight up cut fat without impacting your lean muscle mass that you worked super hard to grow, okay? So stay tuned for that. Next up, we're going to be swinging some sticks. Peace out, gang. Talk soon.